If you have to drink a bottle of alcohol every night to go to bed, that is a crutch. If you have to smoke a blunt every night to fall asleep, that is a crutch. If you have to take edibles every night to fall asleep, that is a crutch. If you have to take pills every night to go to sleep, that is a crutch. And I told you at the very beginning of this video, I know this is going to piss a lot of people off.
Piss them off, man.
But believe it or not, there were humans hundreds of years ago that had none of these things and they slept just fine.
That's right.
Hundreds of years ago, there were humans who did not have coffee.
That's right.
In the morning.
Well, I like coffee in the morning.
There were humans who did not have
That's not a crutch,
drugs.
man. Coffee?
There were humans who did not have orange glasses. There are humans who did not have these weird rituals that we try and convince ourselves.
Well, humans had even worse rituals in the past, too.
We need to do, we cannot live without. And all they end up doing is weakening us. Because the thing is you have a level of maintenance, right? Of how you look and feel, whatever. And so what happens is, it's like when you start drinking coffee in the beginning, you feel better. And then over time, you need to drink coffee just to feel normal. And so then the benefit that coffee confers is gone. And so if you really want to get benefits from things, then you need to cycle the things that you do, which means inherently you're not going to have a routine because the things that you're doing are constantly changing, which give you the temporary flux or benefit that it will confer to you as a result of it.
I like what he's saying. I think it's true because in reality, we have control over nothing, really. Life is freaking chaotic. We don't understand most of it, you know, and a lot of these routines and a lot of these thoughts and ideas and assertions and whatever, we're using them to kind of like try to soothe ourselves, you know, even in the worst case scenarios when things are going terribly wrong and you know you've made mistakes or you could have been better or you did everything right and it just didn't work out, and then your financial security or your financial future is at stake. You don't know. There is insecurity. There is fear. You think that by worrying and stressing out and blah, 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 things are going to get fixed and solved, and maybe in a certain small percentage you can affect change. But I feel like life is life, and what's happening is supposed to happen, even if it's deserved or not. And you're just going to have to navigate through it somehow. The game is the game. The game is rigged. The game isn't fair. We all know the game is not fair. That's the first thing I teach my daughter. The game is not fair. Life is a game. And unfortunately, or fortunately, depends who you are, the game is not fair. And if you want to be part of this society, then you must agree to play the game under their rules. You have to understand the rules, and you have to navigate through life like that. Not taking it personal. The game is not rigged against you. The game is rigged against almost everyone. And the ones that win, the ones that get something, know how to play. And learned how to play and learn how to make decisions, blah, blah, blah. But the thing about this video, what's this guy's name? This guy is Alex Hormozi. He's ripped, strong. He's smart. I like the way he talks. I like what he says. I'm learning from him. I respect the way he thinks. He's saying some real good stuff here, right? He's saying some real good stuff. We have control over nothing. And if you think that you have control because you're waking up at the same time, going to sleep at the same time, doing the same things every morning, do the same things every night, and stressing out about them if you can't do them, like you're changing something about destiny and life and what's supposed to happen or going to happen, then you're ridiculous, right? Because just the nature of life itself is like, yo, you think you got everything under control, but a rock might fall on your head and you're dead right now. And what did that routine do for you? You wanted to lose the weight, but you died fat, bro. You know what I'm saying? You were changing to get the girl, but you're dead now and she went with somebody else. I don't know. You tried to build the company and now your partner took everything. We have no control. We have to learn how to ride, including me. I'm in that process. I got to learn how to ride, how to be flexible, how to stay composed, how to try to do the right thing, how to be strong in different circumstances. That's why fitness is very important, right? That's why flexibility in the human body is very important, because if you're truly flexible, then that means you have a lot of range of motion. And that means that you can train strength. You can strengthen your body in different, in the full range of motion. Not only till, for example, your knees, not only up to 90 degrees or less than that. You can go all the way. You can, at every point in the range of motion, you can actually build strength and stability. Right? So, I like what he's saying. Let's see what else he says.
Being novel, if you're going to do it. But most people don't do it that way. Instead, they become dependent on these superstitions about how they must go to bed every night, how they must fall asleep, and what they must take, and how they have to have their mornings. Or
also, I'm a little bit like what he's saying. Actually, if you talk to my wife, she'll say I'm a little bit like that. And it's because I've been undisciplined my entire life, and I've had no structure, and I think I require it. But I can tell you from experience that this shit, the being like that, fucking takes so much energy away from me, some emotional energy, so much mental energy, so much, it's work, you know, like the coordination. And let's see what else he says.
What? Or they create a punishment for themselves, or I can't be productive, or I can't think it straight, or
yeah, so then that leads to a bunch of excuses. Oh, I couldn't perform today at training because I went to sleep late last night. And then you blame yourself, or you blame your wife, or you blame your kids. Oh, it's impossible like this. How the hell am I going to succeed? How are we going to build anything in this life? Look what's, you know, it becomes a disaster.
I'm really, really agitated
I'm like
all
that.
day, right? That's so weak. It's so weak. It makes you so non-resilient that I would hope to compete against you. You know what I mean? I would hope that. Because I would just hope that something interrupts your magical routine and then fucks you for the day, right? I've always had the belief that I'd like to be able to sleep on a cot somewhere and be just as effective in a cot with, you know, in a corner, in a closet, as somebody who has to have every single aspect of their life completely dialed in. I see it as the difference between the Rocky cutscene of him versus Drago in Rocky 4. Drago's got all these fancy science things that he has to do and all these supplements that he's taking, all this stuff, and Rocky's just doing his thing outdoors, getting it done. And
well, what I take from this video from Mr. Alex Hormozi, I want to give him credit if you listen to the video. I'm not just taking your stuff, I'm giving you credit. This is the guy. What he's saying is, bro, you got to be a little bit scrappy. You got to learn how to be scrappy. You got to learn how to be productive and strong under every circumstance, which is what life requires, not only business. If you want to be successful in life, I think, for me, I got to learn how to be resilient. I got to learn how to be scrappy. I got to learn how to be effective, get my work done, be mentally tough to get through anything, no matter what. Coffee, no coffee, hot water, no hot water. If rain, thunderstorm, sunshine, you got to be all terrain. And it's tough to beat a motherfucker that's all terrain. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, in tennis we see it all the time. In tennis we see that there's a bunch of recreational players, or you know, like at the high level, who've achieved a lot of success in tennis. By winning games and stuff, important games, by developing this like very unorthodox style, but they know how to do it. You know, it's not fancy with technique. It doesn't look beautiful. It actually looks the opposite of technique. It actually looks the opposite of technical, and it also looks the opposite of beautiful, which is like anti-tennis, right? Like, I love tennis because it's such a beautiful sport. It's like dancing to classical music on the court. It's very artistic, in my opinion. But these guys are scrappy as hell. They run for everything. They'll dig everything out. They make you dig. They make you run. And they beat you because they're so tough. They're just tough. They're just willing to play 1 point for 5 minutes if they have to. They're willing to play a 2-set game for 4 hours if they have to. You know? They don't care if it's windy. They don't care if it's sunny. They don't care if it's... You know, I love that. I love that. I don't like the way the game looks and what it turns to be, but there's that beauty in that chaotic type of scrappiness. You know, like, they're not scared to get their hands dirty. They're not scared to overwork to get it done. They don't need anything other than their willpower and their willpower, their work ethic, and their mental toughness. And so that's what I think he's talking about here. And I like it. I agree with him. And in some ways, I'm like what he's saying that's not good. I do those things. I do drink coffee every morning. I actually drink 3 coffees a day at the same time every day because I have a certain routine that he's saying, you know. And the question is, do all my routines serve me for the best, for the betterment of my performance? athletically, financially? Do they? Health-wise as well? Those are questions I have to ask myself. I have to be more flexible. I have to be more resilient, more scrappy. Thank you, Alex. We'll be reviewing and commenting on your stuff more often because you're a smart guy who's helping me and many people around the world. All right. Peace.